Your voice is going to the mic. It's a lot better now.
Oh, the
Oh, the
voice was
voice was
no
no
way.
way.
Yeah. I was like wondering why you were so quiet. Way better.
No, I'm using my headset microphone.
Nope. I don't hear no tapping, man.
That's a stupid because it literally says headset microphone. Here, let me try this. Same thing.
Yeah.
Sounds exactly the same.
Yeah.
Why is Zoom broken? This should be through my headphones.
That is now.
Ah, it is now. It was through here the whole time.
Yeah.
This is why we do this.
There you go.
You never know what software is using what mics.
No one wants a hot mic, man. Well, sometimes.
Dude, man, I wish we had a hot mic to be able to get our president out of office. But anyway, that's a whole nother here nor there. So you can hear me through this now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you couldn't hear me when I left the room?
No.
I was talking.
That's probably good, right? I don't know what you were doing in the other room.
No, I thought I had a hot mic, so I was.
Oh, you're being careful.
Yeah, I was speaking as if. I don't know if I like the way that this arm is set up right here. I'll do it like that. Oh,
All right.
Did the audio quality sound better through this mic or through this mic?
Oh, the boom mic, way better.
Okay. Here, I'll do this.
And while Xavier's playing with his microphone, let's talk about why we're here.
Hey.
So,
Gotta love microphones.
Yes. So what we're doing is, this is not a normal How They Got Hacked episode. What we decided to do was we're going to, I need to bring up the boom gain. It should match in a second. So anyways, what we're doing is hacking live. Well, testing and hacking and seeing the results, kind of red team, blue team here.
Explore.
I've got a server set up that Xavier's messing with.
In some shape or fashion.
Some shape or fashion. We've got some, actually we'll show desktop one here, share. We got some Wireshark. We got some Sarah logs. Actually, which? Sharing the wrong screen. Stop share. Why does Zoom want to share that screen? It's not the right one.
Zoom also didn't want to use the mic that was selected, so I don't trust Zoom. I'm almost, weirded out by it right now.
Share. Desktop.
It says you were live, by the way.
Yeah, Facebook just ended the live stream. I don't know why. It doesn't say.
It's just like, bye-bye.
I didn't do anything. Facebook is just like, it still says it's streaming, but it's not. So.
Well then.
Let's figure out this desktop. Now you can see Sarah, right?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
All right. Someone said Zoom was never meant to be trusted. We're fine with that because we're not trusting it. We're publicly putting this out there. So if someone in China also puts this out there, awesome.
Right. Let me get it on YouTube so I can see all these comments. We missed you guys, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Tom still had his live shows every Thursday, so I'm pretty sure you got your fix of Tom, but I was pretty reclusive. I spent some time away. I thought I was going to be planning my wedding. I did plan my wedding, if that helps anyone's conscience, but that did not really go in my favor, as you can see.
All right, I'm tweeting it out too. There we go.
Oh, my mic needs to come up a little. Markamus. Oh yeah, it definitely sounds low. Yeah, let me see if I can turn it up on my end. Oh, my mic's all the way maxed on my end.
Hold on. I can bring his mic up. Try it now.
Try now.
Perfect. I did. I'm mixing over in OBS, so I had the desktop. You're part of a feed in OBS.
Perfect. That makes sense. I can
We're,
hear us live on the live stream.
yeah, we should match now.
Yeah, we sound normal. Hello, everyone. If you can't tell, we are rusty. This is how they got hacked, and we are rusty.
Yes, and this is something we didn't really want to go news. We wanted to actually show some of what we do, and we were playing around with this. So we just said, well, why not just hit the live button and we're going to play around with it. Let's do it in front of an audience.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think that as a red teamer, I'm always constantly exploring and figuring out what other tools I want to use for engagements. I was lucky enough to come across a Sans distro called Slingshot. And Slingshot is a operating system virtual machine that is kind of set up with all these different command and control servers. And it is a part of a project called C2 Matrix. So if you've ever heard of C2 Matrix, you're probably aware of what I'm talking about. I stood up that VM and I played around with a few different command and control servers. Merlin was one of them. Empire was one of them. Covenant was another. Caldera was another. So I got some, experience in those. I deployed it onto some endpoints that I owned. Was gracious enough to have Tom spend some time deploying out some resources that even I didn't have out into the world. And so that's kind of where this came from, where, I was, hey, let's do a demo. Let's try and figure out some kind of content to, display. So if you follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, uh, Twitter, you probably saw IP address come out earlier this week, 104.248.120.109 with two forward slashes in front of it. And the reason why is because I want to remind people that it's okay to test for the what you assume to be normal, right? Uh, um, uh, uh, you know, how do you say? Controls, right? So you assume that someone is already blocking UNC path injection, right? But that may not necessarily be the case. So, yeah, I'd say that, to be able to confirm, you always want to test. And that's kind of what the energy behind this, whole demo here was, is just to test some things out. I wanted to see what does traffic look like from these different command and control servers.
And my side of it was I stood up a Windows Server 2019 eval. So we have a special network here made just for when Xavier wants to play with something called Pwnage. And of course, 10.13.37.110 is the IP address.
Of course.
And what we have here is just a standard load of Windows Server, and Xavier has the ability to do fun things with it with the command and control server. So the other side of that is it's in and living in my network. So this is filtered for specifically that IP address inside of here to 10.13.37, and we can see that Saracata inside of pfSense. So this is the blue team side of where we look at defense. We're looking for indicators of compromise. We're looking for red teamers like Xavier and what they're doing in our network. Network Trojan detected. So this particular machine's just flinging alarms all over the place.
All right. And this is what we call Larry Loud. This means that we're just going after it. We're just getting after it, figuring out, exactly what it is when we get there.
Yeah, I mean, Xavier could have loaded something like 0 tier or something like that, which would have made this extremely hard to see the traffic if it would have been encapsulated. This is all done in open, as you can see, standard TCP. So this was not really hidden. Also,
Right.
You notice it's just hello world server beacon response.
Lots of them.
You can't make yourself any more obvious here. Like, this is just dropping obvious hints. But that's part of it was. This is, you start here, first can we see it the obvious, and then you work your way towards the more obscure ways of attacking the system until we know what the threshold is.
Right. Now, imagine if you were a guy like me who was extremely curious and interested in computers, and you had a friend like Tom who was extremely powerful and good with computers, and you went and figured out a way to tinker your way around these controls. All of a sudden, when someone hires you for that red team engagement, that penetration test, you are flying as quiet as possible. And it's not necessarily about doing this right now, it's about learning it, practicing it, and having it right, and tuning it. So uh, this is kind of how I spend my time in my free time. And I will be honest with you, I'm not really good with network wide packet captures, even though I have the hardware too and the software too. And so I leverage time as a resource for these types of things because this is where he lives as a network engineer, figuring out where the net flows don't work, figuring out what packets made it and what didn't, the latency on those packets. You guys saw Tom stream yesterday. So you kind of understand, the type of stuff that he's into. What happens if I just unplug my hard drive? Like, I'm not about to go back there and unplug hard drives. I'm not going to do it. So, that's where this, this kind of this the spirit of this is. But nevertheless, I think that I want to compromise a server.
Yeah. And I'll throw one thing out there because I just finished a video that I'll be uploading when we're done with this for playing with the hardware level. This is where the challenge comes in for someone who works on the blue team. It's not just about working security. I'm doing infrastructure, hardware, just the general Windows, fucking everything up for users. And somewhere in between, some, red teamers over here trying to attack my systems. I'm just trying to keep them from not crashing from a Windows update. I'm trying to replace a hard drive that failed. And somewhere along the way, some of my users clicked on shit.
Yeah. And all it takes is one click.
All it takes is one click.
We're getting closer and closer to it just being them opening up the email, not even actually clicking on anything in the email, but just opening it.
Mm-hmm.
Here, let me log into the server.
So I'm seeing the VM from this side. Xavier's actually using a tool to remotely control the servers using Screen Connect.
There we go. And as you can see, someone walked away from their computer and I plugged in a rubber ducky. And that's where this demo starts.
Yes.
One of the things that I always tell people is that physical security is probably like your number one concern when it comes to advanced persistent threat, RDP over WAN. No, I wish it was RDP over WAN. It's definitely not. We're smarter than that. Come on, guys.
We are, but don't worry. There's plenty of RDP exposed to the WAN going on.
Don't worry. It's out there. Yeah, lucky enough, we didn't have to even expose RDP to be able to do this, which I think is fairly cool. So nevertheless, I walked by your computer. We're at DEF CON. I plugged this in. Bam. This is what went in before the last stroke of my payload was enter. Whoops. I'd imagine I have to click enter right there. And away it went. You notice that? There was nothing on the screen after I clicked enter. But actually, what's the best way for me to be able to show this? Because you're sharing your screen right now.
Yeah. You want to share yours?
Well, how about this? We just did the compromise.
Okay.
Let's go and look at the traffic that was just generated. What does it
Sure.
look like? Oh, and I'm getting a phone call. Awesome. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go on mute.
So let's watch the traffic. So Xavier just hit this, and here we go. This is the traffic generated from his server. So dive into it further. Where exactly did he do it? Well, actually, let's do a follow on this. Let me go up a little bit here. Do a follow. And wrong stream. I need the stream from... Find the right one. We'll dig into this. This is why we're doing it live. It's way more fun. We were just, this is not planned. There we go. Is it this one? Nope, that one is not able to decode.
I am back.
All right.
So where do we go? What's happening?
I'm looking for the actual stream. I think I'm getting mixed up with the, I need to follow. So one of these is a Screen Connect server. This is the one that you.
The last check-in was 12:02:16 UTC. I'd imagine the activation time, the initial compromise. Oh, okay. Here, that's the problem. We still got demo stuff running, so I'm going to kill the other one we already got.
You know what? I think I wrote a filter earlier. Did I? Did this filter work? Here we go. That's going to be helpful. Hey, look at that. Now we have better filtering so we can find it. There we go. Here's Xavier's server.
Oh, you can see me now.
Yeah, now here's your little hello world banging away here.
All right, so I'm going to kill this. Oh, wait, maybe.
We could put a hello Tom in it.
I think. How do I go about this? Give me 1 second. I'm trying to remember. Do you see that data I just passed through?
All right, that'll be right at the bottom. So let's go jump there. Yes.
Okay, and what does that data look like? Like, can we see what the packets actually say?
Yeah, let's go through. We follow the stream now. I was sharing it back on another screen over there, so let me make sure I go back over to the comments.
So it looks like it's like what, like base 64, some kind of encoding.
There's the
That's
hello
world. But when you went up, there was something right there that I equals. Also, that body, like that's a huge. That looks like the payload.
That's the payload right there.
Starts in EY. No, the payload starts CW, ends in A equals. Weird.
I have FQ equals.
That's something for sure. No clue what it is.
All right, so let's kill the filter. Change back to this filter, just for the IP.
But you know what I want to do? You know what I think be interesting? I want to kill this grunt that I have and show people what the process is, what it looks like when the compromise actually happens on my end as a red teamer, because I'm pretty sure people are interested. Like,
oh yeah. So we can see
it. It's getting delivered right at this very second. So give me 1 second. I'm going to leave, hopefully for the last time of the show.
Yeah, no problem. I'll dig into this because what we're going to look for is we're watching all the data, and I'm trying to nail down exactly. And I have a filter here, and this is actually the challenge you have on this side is nailing down exactly where the data is coming from, what it's doing. But we see all this. We see these random server, Microsoft IS. So we have this weird Hello World beacon, and the Hello World beacon is showing up inside the framework right here. So with this, the framework is being discovered by Suricata. So this is Suricata running and filtering for this particular event, and we've parsed this out for a different priority. So when you're looking at your Suricata events, it is a specific priority for the events you're looking for. So a network Trojan was detected. This is how we know the IP address right there. We know the destination port it was running on. Go back over to Wireshark and you'll see the same things over here. So you'll see those IP addresses, which is what maybe create this filter at the top here. So you're kind of following through how we're getting that. Someone says micro stutters. I'm not sure. I hear you. I'm not sure what the cause is on there. We are doing Zoom. I don't know if there's any problems in particular with Zoom right now. Everyone's Zooming because it's Friday night, and that's what people do now. Yeah, lots of bandwidth issues for sure. So let me try and find the payload that he delivered, though. Matter of fact, let's filter this further filter it just for his IP address. So I want to see anything that's just coming from that. I'm going to guess these might be the streams to follow. The weird thing is Xavier sees a different payload on there. Scroll back up. Yeah, I'm not seeing the payload. Or was it in here? Nope, it's all part of the same stream. That's much bigger. Wait a minute, this is the one Xavier was trying to mention to me. So what's that encoded in? You can see most of the work we do is just staring at logs. Quietly trying to figure out what they are and what's in them. And was this bad? His view is way cooler because while we're trying to decipher all this, we don't get to see anything too cool. We're just trying to figure out what's going on here. Suricata set it off. Ideally, the first thing you'd be doing is blocking the command and control server. So if you think it's compromised, you find the indicator of compromise, you drop connections to that particular command and control server. So if I were to be just quickly stopping the attack, I would do something like stop this. But what's his counter offer? So the counter attack would be he would probably have it not going to necessarily one IP address, but a series of IP addresses. So if you have them going to a series of IP addresses, that creates the different challenge of understanding and being able to block all those different IP addresses in order to stop this attack, which gets very, very challenging.
Actually, I do domain fronting, right? So
yeah,
what
domain
that
fronting
let me do is have a number of DNS entries that I own, maybe domains that I've compromised, maybe domains that I've purchased through anonymous resources. But this would allow me to be able to, anonymously continue my operation. And then I have different tiers, right? So when you're dealing with command and control, you got different tiers of command and control. So you got like, a tier that's really hot and heavy, right? That's the tier that is doing the connection back and forth over and over and over again. That's the one that's a little loud, right? It's the one that's probably going to be caught if when forensics gets a hold of it. Then you have this long haul one, And a part of the long haul will be more slow. It'll be the thing that actually communicates with your intermediaries. And that'll be the one that forensics probably won't get a hold of too much because there'll be some proxy in between it. And what happens is the panel that I'm about to show you is actually going to be somewhere that often doesn't get popped. And I'm going to have a number of stubs that I install after I immediately land on my host. I'm going to install a couple of more stubs that then phone home to a number of other command and control intermediaries, right? Which allows me to be able to then communicate with those intermediaries from my main C2 server. So you want to think about your command and control and tiers. Most tiers are 2, 3. Echo. Somebody says echo. Xavier is in the Grand Canyon.
We'll adjust that a little bit. Sometimes it picks up some feedback because I don't have headset on.
Oh, okay, cool. Nevertheless, I'm going to share my screen now. Let's see. You there, Tom?
Yeah.
You see my screen?
I see it.
All right, cool.
I see the Covenant framework.
Awesome. So Covenant, as you can see, you got a number of things going on here, but they have these things called listeners, which is when you actually set up a a listener, right? The thing that is looking at the incoming traffic, the thing that actually is listening for that call back, that ping back, for it to be able to actually catch the shell, so to speak. So we got one listener set up here, and we set up a launcher, right? And let's say we set up a launcher and we make it a PowerShell launcher. And of course, we're going to have a number of options here. A template for HTTP and SMB. I haven't played with SMB, so let's give it a shot. Grunt SMB is the template on this listener. And then we're going to try and encode this using the PowerShell launcher. So lucky for me, I'm going to go ahead and just click copy right here. I got to stop my share and share this whole entire window. Or actually share the other window.
Yeah, I had to share a desktop to really show.
Yeah, you kind of got to share a whole desktop, huh?
Yep.
Oh, well. Let's go. Fuck it. We're doing it live. Now you guys see how we're controlling this without RDP if you're savvy.
Yep.
So I go over here. I make a new text document just because I want a place to be able to paste this into. And if paste works, which I don't know that it does.
If it doesn't, use send clipboard keystrokes.
Send clipboard keystrokes.
It's on the menu. Take it out of full screen for the.
Okay.
It's in the menus. Yep.
To clipboard? No, that screenshot.
Yeah, it's over on the other side, I think. Yep, there you go.
Oh, awesome. That's not what I copied, though. So, again, rubber ducky, right? Work with me here. We got the rubber duck, just plugged it in. Click, plugged in. And now you're going to see the slowest rubber duck ever. And this is probably going to take so long. Why is it taking so long?
You could probably paste it in a message as well.
All right, hold on. This is not going to be okay.
This is the part where I would have edited in space, done it differently.
It's a denial of service. Boys and girls, this is why you don't buy a fake rubber duck. This is the rubber goose.
Yeah.
Here we have the rubber goose in the wild.
If you just close the
Being a
session and
total
open it back up,
asshole.
it'll.
Oh man, I love this. Here, let me try and open it back up. Oh man, there's nothing better than doing stuff live. Like I get no more joy. Like there's no better joy. Waiting for available license. Uh-oh.
It doesn't.
I've reached
It'll.
I've reached the maximum number of concurrent sessions. I should be good now. Just needs a little second to catch up with itself. Oh, did it finish? Oh no, it quit. Right.
Yeah. Drop it in as a message. You could always do it that way too.
Like here?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Here, I want to copy my payload again. And I'm going to drop it in as a message. I don't have to use Control V because there's no right click send. I think I made this computer mad somehow. Like it's here, send Control Alt Delete. That's what I need to do. Because it's really upsetting me. Where's send Control Alt? There we go. It's really upset with me.
My console view is making me laugh too.
I
helped.
think I don't know what happened. I had to stop share because I didn't want people to see us spell that hard. Okay, can I click stuff now? No, I still can't click stuff.
Weird.
This is a SC fail. What in the world is that? This is beyond the rubber goose. It became the rubber porcupine. it's just the pain is keep going. Can you just close this text document maybe?
Yeah, here's what I'm gonna do. Hold on a second here. Let me do this different. I figure out which desktop we're on. I think this one. There we go. I don't know what it's doing.
This is why we have tequila, boys and girls.
Wow, as the admin, I am upset too. I can't. There we go. Hold on.
Fix your shit. It's not even good enough to be hacked. Holy fuck.
There we go. Sign out anyway.
Drink through this. Send Casamigos, please. Me and Tom will be in the studio once all of this shit is over. Trust me.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember the password I set to this, or if you've even kept it the same.
Oh, I did. I wouldn't do you like that.
This VM is just dedicated to you. No one else is using it, so.
You never know, man. I might fuck myself up one day or something. All right. Messages. Grab this beautiful message here. Make sure I got the whole thing. All right. Send Control C, I guess. Make sure. I don't know if my Control C works. Nope, doesn't. So as you see me having all of these text documents on my desktop, I'm sure you're probably wondering, like, does he do this on his real computer? Let's see. Oh, well, you're sharing your screen, so you can't.
Well, I got to show Xavier's screen now. You're watching. Yeah, you're watching when I see it from this side. So let me stop this, and I'll let you share back on your side.
Yes, I do save random exploits. That's a new text document 8. Oh, buddy. All right. Is there any cool way for me to do this? Maybe you can do it from your end. Do you have Control C?
Um,
Otherwise, I'm just going to log into the panel and say fuck it and just copy it from there, or just download it as a PS1.
yeah, download. I just download it from the panel.
Obviously, this is a demo, guys. We would have this like as a part of a macro or something. I gotta copy my password over from LastPass. Why does Covenant have fucking 14? Never mind. I don't want to know. Oh, look, paste works. Holy shit. All right. So as you see, we lost our stub. This is a brand new thing. We're going to go over here, generate a SMB PowerShell because we haven't played with this before. You might as well make it encoded while we're, well, you know what? Just download it as a PS1. Open the folder. All right. Right click, run with PowerShell. Of course, open. This is my exploit to my video game. I need to be able to have my games, right?
Yep.
Right. Those games are really, really important. And so are my shells. So it looks like we have a HTTP grunt here, even though we asked for SMB grunt. So I'm not super satisfied with that, but I'll take it. And if I do Control C, maybe I kill it. I wonder. I'm just curious here. Well, apparently I can't do Control C. So maybe I just close it. And let's see if we still have that grunt. Looks as if we do. Still says active. I'll take it. So this is what it looks like from my end, right? I can interact with this thing and say like you know, I'll do it from right here. Oh, look, it's lost. It is lost. Awesome. Okay. So if I go over here, get a PowerShell launcher, I'm pretty sure I set it to SMB, so I want to make it back SMB, make sure.
Actually, I just dropped this back up here, so we should actually be able to follow. Let me hit the end on this. I'm just dropping it over. I don't know if you can. I don't think you can see it from your side, Xavier, but we're watching the data still flow from when you're doing these.
Nice. Okay.
All right.
So now that's running. And we should have a grunt again. It is HTTP. So anyway, I don't know what's going on with that, but that should be our SMB grunt. And if I close it and I go over here to launchers and I just add one little bit of neatness to it, something called no new window. Okay, whatever. What in the world? Where's my fucking new text document? There we go. Right. So we say that there's no new window. We just wanted to have a copy of it. It's still in our again rubber ducky style. I think a rubber duck would actually move faster than this, which is scary. But just imagine you're like standing there checking out, and you're asking the lady to grab the extra stuff, and you're wondering, do I really want that extra stuff? I don't know. Fuck. Do I really want? Yeah, I do. No, I don't. Never mind. Apparently that didn't work. So we're gonna try this a different way. Just download.
You can tell we didn't prep for this, right?
Nope. I mean, who cares, right? Like we're just having fun.
But I figured it's better to do this live than actually just talk about it. Like, I'm always looking for audience suggestions. I see someone send William said turn off Windows sign in options.
So we have a grunt, and this quote unquote grunt. I guess let's just describe what a grunt is, right? So a grunt, look at a grunt as your Trojan. So this is like your rat. So from right here, I can interact with this. This is what I want to show you guys. So I could go like, if I just got a victim, like, who am I? Right? Like, I need to know who I am. And so somebody on the other end, like Tom, is probably looking at the shit and is like, why the fuck is somebody running? Who am I? But maybe not, right? So if they're really, really bad, and we've made fun of people that are really, really bad, you can do stuff like, I don't know, Mimikatz,
Oh,
right?
yep.
Well, maybe we'll just do Mimikatz get, what is that? There's a hash I can get, I'm sure. Or maybe I'll just try and get these logon passwords. Let's see. And so now over here in taskings, I have something that's considered uninitialized right here. It's the Mimikatz. It's run by me. What I like about this is that it's multi-user. Whoops.
Because teamwork. That it's a hacking team now.
It's a huge team, right? So I go here. I want to see if this worked. Now, mind you, this is Windows Server 2019. This is going to be around for the next 3 to 4 years, right?
It's
So if
Microsoft. It's
Mimikatz is
longer than that.
working on it, if Mimikatz is working on it, we're fucked, right? Oh my god, fucked we are. I got NTLM. I got all types of shit.
Yep, it ran.
It ran. Like this alone allows me to be able to pass the hash to other services like RDP over the WAN. Right? So it's like what else do we got here? I don't want to show too much because I don't want this box to get like creamed. But I mean, what I like most about this particular stub here is that I could do shit like not make token, but I could do like privilege escalation, I'm pretty sure. Or get system. There you go. Get system. Bam. So now I'm just trying to get system. One click. You know how hard it is to get system on Windows? One click, get system. I go over here to task. Whoops, taskings. And I go over here to command time. And I see that it's completed. I click on it. And I have successfully impersonated system. Now, you tell me what you can do with system. I don't know, ransomware. Maybe I'll ransomware LTS for $20. You don't think Tom's going to give me the $20? Quickly.
Send you a pizza,
show
man.
me the way that you got in for another 100, please.
Because if you don't, that's actually this is going to be the next ransomware strategy, right? I'll decrypt your files for $30, but I'm gonna fuck you next week too. But for a couple $100, I'll tell you how I'll stop doing it.
Right? Do you want the pain to stop or not? So you can do things like I think what most people are super interested in are things like screenshot.
Yeah, and keyloggers.
And keyloggers. Oh my god, the keylogger is scary as shit. So let's look at what the desktop is. Right? We see all this shit. This is me getting system, blah 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 blah. And here, let me close this. Let me close that. And if we go over here to taskings, we go to command time, you'll see that the screenshot is completed and bam. This is in Covenant. This is on my machine, not on this machine. And you can see that it works. So like task, grunts, excuse me. And then we go over here, we want to do some key logging, right? So let's say you want to go keylogger for 60 seconds. Because you want it to be like the best, right? And of course, right, doesn't work. But we go over here, and as an attacker, I see something that's tasked, and I go to it, and I see it doesn't have output yet, right? But it hasn't had the full time to run. It's 60 seconds. So go here, we wait for this to no longer be tasked.
Once it changes to completed.
Then we'll see if it captured any of those logs, or maybe I typed it in too soon. Who knows? All right. So here's my
Hey, look at
that. So I started a new Chrome and Google tab, a new tab in Google Chrome, Facebook dot space, and then I backspaced because I made a mistake and hit space. And then I went ahead and did com enter. So I went to facebook.com. This was the title of that page. Tom is awesome. Shift key at. So Tom is awesome. And then it looks like there's a pipe here to indicate that I've done a shift key. So you could look for the pipe to be able to look at, that's your delimiter, right? For any time that a shift key is used. So Tom is awesome. Anytime you see pipe shift key, know that this is a special character of some sort. Yeah, Tom, which I spelled wrong with the E, backspace, site.com because E was wrong. So you just got to look at this and say, hey, it's pretty easy for me to be able to grep a few rules around this, around a few heuristics that I've seen, and be able just to get thomasawesome.com and, this is my, this shift key, my shift key 1337 shift key. Oh, that's what it is. Shift key. This shift key is shift key, my shift key 1337 shift key password with a 0, shift key D, shift key UH, exclamation point, blah, blah, blah. And it finishes keylogging. And so now you just used this computer like it was very normal. You didn't know that anything bad happened other than this huge window being right here. And I can get rid of that pretty easy. So you had no idea you were pwned. This is Windows Server 2019, and I can keylog you. And I can grab screenshots from you. And I can share this covenant with No Self. Like, I might hit No Self up right now and make him a user. Like, better yet.
So one of the other interesting things when Xavier first had showed me and set me up a demo with his Covenant system was it has almost more functionality than some of the expensive tools we pay to administer machines. And there's some real conveniences to this framework. Not as a hacking tool, but as a sysadmin tool.
Right?
It brings me back to the back orifice from the Cult of the Dead Cow. We right away when I seen it, it was a fun hacking tool to mess with people. But the flip side right away was like, hey, this is actually kind of handy, and we started using it to administer machines. We're
Yeah,
like,
back Orpheus was like a thing that I never got to play with, but I always wanted to.
oh, it was so great.
And like I can't find a copy of it to save my life, bro.
I mean, there's really
If
old
anybody
copies,
out
but
there has a copy of it, please just give it and let me play with it. I know it probably won't work, but just give it.
actually, I'm Twitter friends with follow him, Death Veggie. He probably has a copy somewhere.
Please, please ask him to give, and we'll demo it live. I'm pretty sure we can get a fucking XP or a 95. I'm almost positive we can get a Windows 2000 server somewhere.
Yeah, well,
Because this
that's
was hot back in like
we'll do a
2000, right? Or would
throwback
it be
day.
95?
We'll
It'd
play
be
with some
95.
really old
Or
stuff.
it'd be either 95 or is that a goatee?
Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey,
All right,
someone
anyway.
there was a question someone had, Xavier, is what does this look like in Task Manager? What are the sub processes like the keylogger look like if we're looking at the resource monitor, if we're digging through tasks?
So you got PowerShell that pops up. Oh god, come on. We probably would need to install Process Explorer. I'm killing this machine. It is like really, 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 really upset with me. Do you know why it is so mad at me, Tom?
No,
All I did was click Task
from
Manager.
a resource standpoint, you're not peeking out the CPU.
I have pissed this thing off. Maybe that's a part of it. Maybe it's just like never go to Task Manager.
Yeah, I mean it's not under much load right now, and it's got 12 cores and 16 gigs dedicated to it. So, not sure on that.
Nope. Give me 1 second. I can help you there. Let me see. Go. Make sure I'm sharing the right screen. So, what's it? Perfmon? No. What is it for Windows?
Open up Task Manager, and then there's the resource meter. Hit more details.
Here we go.
And open resource monitor down. You had it under performance, and then at the bottom.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. So, in all reality, it's running low and slow. Let's sort by threads. There's nothing here. That's what I was looking for. Perfmon. There's nothing here that would immediately make you go like, "What WTF?" Other than this. This right here is like, why am I running PowerShell? Like, I want to kill all of the PowerShell that's running, and you'll see that our grunt will go bye bye. And if it hasn't yet, it will very soon. See, it's gone. So, that is kind of like pretty standard for most you know, PowerShell based stubs. But you got to think about what that stub could be used for. So maybe I use this stub to just download another stub that doesn't run as PowerShell.exe. Maybe I load something in as a DLL. Maybe I add myself onto like a package that starts whenever the system starts. Findrix is in the chat right now. Findrix used to work for a very, very powerful and scary company that helped you stop all of what I'm talking about. And yeah, so he probably can kind of speak to some of that. California asks, how is it persistent? Persistence could work by uh, automating post exploitation. So I want to show you guys something. Um, you know what? Better yet, I want to show you something live on this server. Give me 1 second here. If I can remember how it works, then I want to stand up another C2 server here to show you how persistence will work, but not in Covenant, how it could work in Covenant, but how it should work in general, right? So give me 1 second. Hmm. Here we go. All right. All systems ready. Bam. So this is a command and control server called Caldera. And Caldera is really, really interesting because it has something that is called a decision engine, right? And so, what you could do is with your agents that you may have out in the world, um, you can start a campaign, and a part of these campaigns, you can have these different things that it's supposed to do, right? And one of the things that you can do is something called stowaway. And what it does is allows you to be able to inject some exe or some kind of DLL into a process, right? So this allows you to be able to move laterally immediately, right? And you could do other things like store yourself into system startups, right? So let's see. Oops, let's see. It's not one. There's also a number of uh tools that allow you to be able to keep persistence. I'm trying to see if this is one. Oh, this is the worm capability. But anyway, as you can see, there's a number of profiles here that you can use to build. You can add a pack to it, or you could add an ability to this. And then this is actually aligned with the TTPs from the MITRE, right? So you can say, hey, I want to do, we were just talking about persistence, and I want to modify an existing service. I want to either modify the fact service to run PowerShell, or I want to replace a service binary with an alternate binary. So this allows me to be able to have something that always runs all the time because it's a service with an alternate binary. And this actually shows you how to do that, right? So and this is the command, and this is how it cleans up behind itself. You can add this to a phase, you can change it right here live. But again, this is aligning to all the different TTPs that are in MITRE. So you can, things like credential access. You want to get, credentials in registry. Maybe you want to do privilege escalation and you want to bypass UAC. Maybe you want to do defense evasion and figure out a way to get around this PowerShell stuff. So you want to use Bloodhound or fileless script execution or use PowerShell to evict Mimikatz. There's a lot of different things that you can do once you get into a tool like this, and these tools are being used out in the wild. It's the reason why Times side of the house picks up on all these things. And the real thing that I wanted to see while doing this was, how does it look on Tom's side when he needs to remediate or triage any of these types of compromises?
Yeah, so what we didn't really have time to do to set this up, but maybe this will be a future video we do, is now that, as Xavier's honed in the tools a little bit, is present him with a system that we have our full security stack on. We're going to be running Huntress, Sentinel-1s, the Solar Wind stack, all the web filtering features, and see what happens. See if those catch it. Huntress has been really good to us in terms of the way it can see the changes. And someone was commenting about watching for changes in the file system. Huntress specifically looks for indicators of compromise and looks for any change in a startup. So it really, really focuses on the persistence. It does have kind of an ability to see the fileless malware, which is something else Xavier's worked on, because the fileless part is where you get it running and just you live off the fact that people don't reboot very often, especially if you can compromise a server. You laterally move into a server, they may not reboot it if there's not a Windows update. Your only enemy is Windows Update. A lot of people don't even load them. So,
and you know what? And if you're using this Windows Server 2019 for what you should be using it for, you're running PowerShell. You're never just going to go in the entire PowerShell.exe process tree. That is living off the land. PowerShell is so trusted that if you saw it running, you'd be like, okay.
And from
a backup.
From a sysadmin standpoint, one of the other challenges is we actually have a couple, and it's just they're shitty software. There's no other way to describe it. But we have a couple of shitty software. One's a warehouse management program that I don't remember the name of. It pops open PowerShell scripts every now and then that just pop up. It's annoying as shit, but it literally looks like it's being hacked. The first time we took over this client, I'm like, what the hell's this thing doing, man? It's like pop, 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 pop. And you're like, this is stupid. And it just has windows that pop up and close every now and then to run tasks. And what they are is, as my DevOps friend calls it, they're the flappy thing tasks. He has this theory. And he says he's run into, he's re-engineered a lot of places, and he's going in there and he says, someone wrote a script to fix the flappy thing. And then someone wrote a script because when that script dies, they need another script over here. So they have another flappy thing, and there's another flappy thing. And he goes, it's just like becomes this giant, this script, if this script dies, if this script dies, and if this one dies. And no one ever bothered to do it right. They just kept half-assing another script to restart all the previously failed scripts.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. But I guess like what the point of all of this was really to show is that if you, for one, quit clicking on shit, you save your ass just a touch.
Yep.
For two, as a sysadmin, if you're staying on top of things like your Suricata firewall logs, if you're looking at your net flows and seeing exactly what's connecting to what, you immediately see me connect on 4444, and I'm using plain text stubs here. So of course, I could make it a little harder by going 443 and actually using SSL. That makes it a bit harder for you. But what if you have DPI and assert on all of your endpoints? You just thwarted my ability, because at the end of the day, my encryption only really works the moment that it's being moved over the wire.
Right. And like these are, like Xavier saying right here, the D port 444, really obvious, plain text, standard TCP, no encryption and things like that. So that's a very, as he said, super obvious attack going on there.
Your screen. That's interesting. So I still see you, but you're sharing your screen over here.
Yeah.
I still see you in Zoom though. I don't see your screen.
Yeah, that's because I didn't hit share on Zoom. Yeah. It's because this middle screen, I have 3 screens, is being grabbed by OBS. So anything I drag to this screen, or if I share something, that's why it gets confusing when I share a screen. I have to be careful how I share it.
Here you go. Nice.
So shares with you, but what I share with them is different than what I share with you. So
all right, that makes sense.
I'm actually seeing if I can show something here.
That Jeremy from marketing was pen testing. That's true. Yeah, they saw that weird PowerShell and they were like, what's that? That was a good episode. Jeremy from marketing was one of the most realistic episodes of that show, because we kind of just showed what happens when you get an insider threat who could potentially grab a PC, compromise it. Maybe he has local administrator, has the SAM file, has hashes, all types of stuff, can start to pass those hashes around, see where else he has administrator on, potentially impersonate while having local administrator, the actual domain administrator, grab that hash, either crack it offline or pass it along to other services. eventually find the the domain. What is that? The DC, and that's game over.
Yeah,
Once
I'm
you got
looking
the
to see if
DA
I can
hash and
show.
you go to the
I have other
DC,
attacks in my Suricata. I'm trying to see if I can find one that might be interesting to pull out.
I'm surprised Mimikatz didn't come across just as Mimikatz.
I'll narrow this down because I can show a piece of it without exposing everything. Because it's live, I don't have time to filter all this. So these are direct attacks on a server I have running that I host. So I'm going to drag them over to the screen. Matter of fact, yeah, Xavier's seeing that. What
The
happens
good
if I
stuff,
share the screen
Hendrix.
so Xavier can see him too? He's going to get a drink.
Hendrix says the tequila is taking over. It's a mixture of tequila and being up every day at 4:30 in the fucking morning, but going to sleep at 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Dude, it's like you get mentally awareness, but you can see I've done a dive in this before. Crap, it refreshed. So I'll show this another time. It's an interesting dive. Actually, let me turn off auto refresh. That'll fix that. This is something else I want to do at some point. It's a lot of filtering I'm gonna have to do because it has all of my servers, but this is something else Suricata sees. And what it's seeing is, what do you see here? Generic web shell. ET exploit for Dratex, web shell generic post, coming from the same IP. They're basically probing one of my internal servers, which are completely immune to these particular attacks. They don't mean anything to me. You know what I mean? Because this is my server's running Apache, fully patched, and with filtering, and not
it's
all
just
services.
running the exploit kit and it's scanning with the exploit kit and trying all of the exploits in the exploit kit.
Yep. But what you see is, I don't know who this person is, but whoever this is, here, if you want to look them up, Xavier, I'll paste this into a chat real quick. I don't want to open it up here.
I'm a bit afraid to, but I'll
Oh, well, why
you might
not?
see my IP in its logs and be like, wait, this one isn't hacked yet? Here, let me fix that.
There, I dropped it in the chat window.
Goddamn beer virus. Yeah, the beer virus. Here,
But it's that appears to be just a Comcast box. That box is actively going at it. It's been blocked now. My system, Suricata lets them go at it a couple times, and after a couple scans, because they're just scans, it says, all right, you've reached a threshold of blocking, and it drops them.
You've been an asshole enough.
Yep.
Looks like it's a Comcast host. Oh, that's interesting. Of course, some Comcast, some poor server. Oh, question. And I don't know if this is legal or not, but I could buy victims. Maybe we buy victims one day.
I don't know where the legality is in that.
I don't know where it is either. I didn't do it. Yes, Covenant is on the VPS. Compromised consumer router? I doubt it's a consumer router. You think it would be?
No, I
Doing all
bet
that scanning is probably something behind there that's already compromised. IoT or endpoint or something.
right. When I've traced stuff down before, let me try and dig into this one a little bit more. Excuse me. Let's see. You can probably throw this one in gray noise, right? Gray noise closed their API? Oh, there we go. No results. Let's show down it. And it may be a new compromise. So interesting. Here, we'll actually drag the showdown over here. Let me share my screen back so you can see it too. So it comes up in Salt Lake City.
Those damn Mormons.
Port 8089. So there's something open on the server here. What's running on 8089? Grand Stream Networks. It's a phone system exposed. So if you want to speculate what's probably happening, there may have been more service exposed. At some point, whatever's behind the server probably got popped, and now it's being used to scan for other victims.
Can I share my screen real quick?
Yeah.
If I had to guess, it's this. And what you'll see here is something that's not Covenant, something that's not, a commercial tool that's just going. I mean, an open source tool that's just going to be out there and open for you. This is something that's called Formbook. And if you're familiar and you keep up with the trends, Formbook is something that is fairly popular right now and is some of the hotness. And you can kind of see some of these dates. They're a bit old. This is from someone who reaches out to me often and is always trying to sell me victims from all over the world. But as you can see, he really does have victims all over the world. Maybe one day I'll try and figure out an anonymous way to communicate with them and get them to kind of talk about their spreading methods, kind of talk about their, how they got into hacking, how they got into the shit to begin with, and see, where we can toe the line. I mean, we're journalists. We want to figure out how the shit works. I'm a hacker, right? So like, of course I want to know how it all works. But at the end of the day, like I'm not willing to go out and do it. So for the people that are out there reaching out to me like, yo, I got victims for sale. Well, let's feature you on the show. Are you willing to talk about these? If we can figure out a way to anonymize you enough, maybe through Discord, since that's your Discord handle, right? I don't know, but
it might be kind of interesting. I do like this is there. like when someone said about Dark Knight Diaries, that's what made it very interesting is when you dive into some of that stuff because it's it's fascinating.
I mean, just how to keep a CNC and not lose box because they don't know where to connect to. That is going to be moving laterally, installing persistence, having more than one stub on a box, and having a number of command and control servers that are behind different redirects. So you can have, one domain name out of 20 stubs, right? So you have one domain name per stub. You put 20 stubs on a machine that gives you 20 redirect URIs, and you can redirect to 1 million different IPs behind each redirect. The opportunity to, you have an infinite amount of redirects to never have to worry about losing clients. And if you're, I'm not sure how far I want to go, but there's different tools out there that have things called refuds. And I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with refud, but refud is when you take something and you make it fully undetectable. And so people buy tools like the thing I just showed you. And when they get it, it's fully undetectable. They go out, they spread it via email. And after a while, it gets picked up by AV. And then, it gets refunded. And then it's made fully undetectable again, and then of course people spread it out further. So that's kind of how that process works.
And it's interesting because yeah, it's how they get hacked. And this is why we use tools like Huntress and Sentinel-1. The things that they're looking for, because so much stuff can get, you change it a little bit and signature detection is not easy. You look for footholds, you look for indicators of compromise. You try to keep these lists up to date. You have your IDS system in the background looking to see if something's going to one of these known servers. But even all of that gets knocked over. We just seen this week the largest, this has to be the biggest IT company out there that got hit. I'm positive they have all kinds. Shit, they're doing $15 billion a year in revenue. They got a knock team.
Most certainly have a knock team. Most certainly.
Yeah.
And should have a SOC as well.
Yeah. They got a SOC team, a knock team. They got all the different. They're a $15 billion company.
Right. And they have no excuse.
Yeah. I never engaged with them at all, but from even some of the reading I did, people seemed to think highly of them. They are not saying, "Oh no, they were a bunch of half-ass techs." So, and when they've come out a little bit more with what happened inside, I was reading up on it. It wasn't just a hack; they also broke their communications by purging out their contact lists.
Pull up that article. Actually, pull up an article on it. I'm not even sure we didn't. I mean, I know we didn't report on it. Um, for all of you that didn't really keep up with what happened with Cognizant, they got wrecked, bro. I think that's about as good as it gets. They got totally wrecked, probably by one of these people who just randomly get, people who are looking for game cracks and free books and shit. To double click on a PDF and game over. GG.
Give me a second. I'm digging up the. I didn't have it at the
No
ready.
worries. No rush. Of course, you guys should know that we didn't have any of these articles at the ready. We did not come here to do this. We came here just to hang out with you guys for the most part. Oh yeah, if you can, smash that like button. What are you waiting for? Stub updated and refund done.
Actually, let me kill this. I don't need this anymore.
If you're curious what a refund ends up looking like, I'm willing to show a little bit more than what I often would. Here you go. 4/25, 2021, 44. So you're kind of giving away a bit of where this person is. They're in the future, obviously. RMECOS.exe. REMCOS.exe. Right? That's what that stub is. This is a random stub that was just fudded. Here you go. BreakingSecurity.net, a new rat in the wild from Fortinet. These are macro executes malware with high system privileges. This is something all the way back from 2017 that people are still refudding today in the future. And it's clean. I get this for $120. So it's like, stop clicking shit.
Yeah.
Because
I got
it
that
cost
pulled
me
up when you're ready.
$120. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Here, so we both can see it. So some employee email as lost after attack. Some of the employees, what happened was their internal directory was deleted. And the reason he did that was to make it harder for them to contact their customers. So this was a skilled attack, I'm going to assume. Not to mention probably getting through all their stuff was not arbitrary. But I hoping we get a really good debrief on this. But I don't know that we will.
Hoping so too. I don't know
So
either. But
also, my understanding, and
because
I've only read a little bit about the company, is they acquired lots of different smaller IT companies. And by doing that, they have some challenges that came in. So by acquiring all these other IT companies, they have kind of a hodgepodge together of clients. So, but the parent company got their stuff deleted. I guess some of the other people did or didn't. That's the part where I was a little fuzzy on whether or not everyone lost access. But either way, definitely a crazy attack, knocked them down hard.
That's what M&A does.
Yep.
That's what happens when you do M&A. When you do mergers and acquisitions, you are asking for it. You got to make sure that you are doing due diligence.
I think it goes to some of the challenges of, I worry myself as my company gets bigger. How do you get, you build a team that big? You have a lot of people you have to trust. You have a lot of systems. You have one person in there that's disgruntled about his job and says, hey, I'm going to sell creds.
It's game over.
It's game over real quick. So,
yep. Yeah, it really does suck if someone like Insider Threat decides to install the Covenant agent and then goes ahead and gets tech support to come by his desk to help them out with the thing. And when he walks away, logs into his VPS, captures that hash from that local administrator, from that domain administrator being logged in, and starts to move laterally from there. It gets really, really simple when you work for a company to compromise them. And so or to be the reason that they are compromised. It's just either way it goes.
Yep.
You are the ultimate defense. To the ultimate security defense is human. Just what it is. There's no amount of AI that's going to stop you from clicking shit.
Nope. Nope. That's why our retirement plan's go be a farmer somewhere where I don't touch technology no more and be like, it's not my problem, man. As long as the tractor starts. That's why as tech people, man, we all go crazy and end up hermits in the woods away from everyone.
Right. Mushroom growers.
Yeah, like last night, man, talking about
What do you
mushrooms.
do? I grow shrooms. Man, it was amazing. If you
Mushroom
missed out
presentations.
on the MySec, if you missed out on the MySec event last night, you missed out on a good one. We did Whose Slide Is It Anyway? Shout out to No Space for the idea. And it was my first time ever doing it. It was amazing. I really enjoyed myself. So yeah. Well, anyway, it's 9:07. I ain't had nothing to eat. You gotta get home to family.
Yep.
We hung out. It was nice. Hopefully we'll do this again in 7 days.
Yes. And maybe if we find some time in between to put something more cohesive together for a demo, we might do that too.
Right. Yeah. Now you kind of understand what is the demo part of the demo, but it's like fun to explore. There's like all these different hurdles to jump over. It's really, really enjoyable. Like I could do this for a living. It would be, my preferred thing to do.
Yeah, it's fun. All right, well, I'm gonna bounce out of here too.
But anyway,
so great, thank you guys for joining us. We'll come up for air a couple more times and start trying to make this a schedule again. We both got disrupted from our schedules of
fucking life,
national pandemic.
But I mean, between I don't know,
shit.
like trying to get a wedding plan and then like a pandemic coming to smack you in the face. You need a couple of weeks to kind of I don't know,
debrief, think about it. Or actually, some point I had to turn off Facebook, man. I was just getting pissed at all the people on there. So,
bro, I actually got jealous of my computer and went, "Fuck, you got a defrag button." Like I can't even defrag right now.
Yep.
And Windows self-optimizes now, by the way, which is awesome.
Yeah,
anyway.
It's getting a little better. No Self says he wants to do some demos with us, so
good. I gave him access, so yeah, I gave him access live, so everybody knows you got access. So when you pop up in the logs, it was my fault.
And just so you know, No Self, not that server runs inside of my building, so don't.
No. He has it on my VPS.
Okay.
He has a user on Covenant, so don't worry. And the Covenant agent was killed.
Okay.
So he can't recompromise you. You're good. I didn't leave him anyways in.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that server is dedicated for that, but it does. If you did something from it, it comes back to my IP address. That's all.
Yeah, no. He has no way in. It would all come back to me. I'm the heat sink here. All right. Well, with that, I'm gonna hit the stop button. So peace.